carefully review your rental portfolio. Now's the time while the market's still hot, okay? If you've got some dogs, you need to put them out there on the market. You'll get offers on it because there's just not enough houses for sale out there.
You're listening to 5 Hour Real Estate Week, where you'll learn to consistently buy real estate in only 5 hours a week. So if you're ready to invest in real estate, achieve financial freedom, and own the lifestyle you deserve, even with your job, this is the show for you. Now, here's your host, Mike Butler.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the 5 Hour Real Estate Week podcast. My name is Mike Butler, and I'm very excited to launch our brand new 9-episode series. It's a mini course. It's titled The New Opportunities in Today's Rapidly Changing Market, and it's going to be complete with case studies. So here are some of the investor strategies for success with all the new opportunities that are going to be surfacing in our rapidly changing market. Now, for starters, let's take a quick look at what actually is happening in our rapidly changing real estate market. My hometown right here in Louisville, Kentucky, okay, just saw it on the news last night, okay, very current, up to date. In our market with the Board of Realtors and what's on the MLS, there's only 500 houses for sale. Now, 500 houses for sale when normally there would be 5,000 houses for sale. So we got a super low inventory, okay, and right now there's just plain and simple too many buyers. And when you have too many buyers and not enough houses for sale, guess what? That's a seller's market. That's what we're in right now. But there's a lot of things that are cooking in the pressure cooker that's going to affect that. And some of it's already started, and you can probably see this. So if we've got a seller's market right now, that means you can put a house up for sale, put top dollar, and you'll have people come in with multiple offers on the same day. I'm experiencing that right now with my daughter's home. My daughter's selling her home she bought 7 years ago for $140,000, and she's selling it, closing on the one she's selling tomorrow in the morning at 2 a.m., and then 2 p.m. she's closing on the house that she bought with 9 acres. Looks like a horse farm. It's a postcard. It's super nice. But anyway, her home that Beth, my wife, helped her get ready. We did the photos and all. She got like 5 offers within 48 hours. And a couple of them were over the asking price. Now, folks, that doesn't happen very often. Now, it is in the market we have today, okay? And that's been going on for several years. And we've seen it. Now, what caused that to happen? Super low fixed rate interest rates for home buyers. Okay, so that means with a lower house payment, they can buy more house. So that helped raise and accelerate the sale prices or the values of homes, okay? So a couple of things. So not enough houses, too many buyers. And I want you right now, if you've got a rental portfolio, stop right now within the next, make this a thing, put it on the top of your list on the quadrant 2 stuff. It's important, but not urgent. I want you to do this right now because the clock's ticking, going tick tock, and it's going to expire. But if you've already got a rental portfolio, take a look at the properties you have. And I don't know how else to say this other than, how about the ones you wish you didn't have? It could be the way they're built, the structure of them, who knows what location. But anyway, now is the time to sell, for lack of a better word, dogs, okay? And you don't have to spruce them up. You don't have to go in there and put lipstick on them and paint them up. You don't have to move a tenant out of them. Just sell them as is, okay? And with the wholesalers that have run amok in my town and your town, people are just paying outrageous prices for them. And I've never seen anything like it before. Even with the last cycle that we had back in 9, 10, 11, 12, it was the other way around where things bottomed out. But carefully review your rental portfolio right now and see which ones you need to sell. And if you're worried about income tax, then just run the numbers on doing a 1031 tax deferred exchange. And if you got enough depreciation, you don't have to worry about a capital gains tax. So now's the time to sell your dog. Okay. For the last 2 years or more, and this is even pre-COVID, okay, I've been saying, and I've been telling folks on my power lunches and in every training event that I do, now is the time to stockpile cash. Okay. And I've been saying that for well over 2 years. And why is that? Could I put my finger on when this stuff was going to happen? No. Okay. But this kind of market, this kind of frenzy cannot continue forever. You can't have, like in Jacksonville, 60 Minutes did a story, rents going up. These folks rented a place. This couple did. They rented a place a year ago for $1,000 a month. Now they're going to renew their lease 12 months later. Now they want $1,400. So a 40% increase in rents. Okay. So then they said, well, that's crazy. Well, they go online looking for another place. Guess what? All the other places are that amount of rent too. So yeah, you could take that several ways. You could say, well, I need to get some rental properties, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, all that. Okay. But my point is this, that everything is going up in this market that we have. Okay. All right. You put your house up for sale. Speaking of homeowners, and if it's a decent house, you'll get 4 or 5 offers within 24, within 48 hours. And then you're also competing with these big corporations that are coming in, paying over the asking price and paying cash. How's a poor home buyer going to compete with that when they have to get a loan? So anyway, for the last 2 years or more, I've been saying stockpile cash. Okay. Another way to stockpile cash is with the super low interest rates that we did have. They're not there anymore, and they're going to continue to rise. I encourage you to take a look. If you're still growing your business, take a look at your rental portfolio. And if you want to still grow your business, back then would be the time to do cash out refis on those properties so you can stockpile cash so that you can be in the driver's seat when we're launching this market that we're in now. We're not launching it. Somebody else is pulling the trigger, but now we can take advantage of all the new. I want you to be able to take advantage of all the new opportunities here. So for the last 2 years, I said stockpile cash. All right. Right now, today, interest rates, 5% for homeowners. Some of it's more. So for this whole new generation of real estate investors who have come on board that have been spoiled, okay, with these super low fixed rate loans, there was a time, okay, not back in Fred Flintstone time, but there was a time when I bought my second house when President Jimmy Carter was in office, and the prime rate was 21% for home buyers. 21%. I assumed, now this was legal back then, okay? I assumed a VA loan, I think it was at 15%, and I was super happy because I got a great rate, okay? Now, watch all these folks today, all this new generation of investors out here that are tech savvy and all that. And that's good. And that's great. Okay. I'm super excited and happy that you're in the real estate business, but they've been spoiled with anywhere from a 3 to 4.5% or 5% fixed rate loans on investment property. Well, if homeowners are paying 5% now, as a rule of thumb, when you go to get your investor loan, it's going to be 2 points more. That's just my experience. Okay. And that's my opinion. So imagine this, trying to get your long-term fixed rate financing in place. If you could find it, okay, you can expect 7% or more. And what a lot of folks are doing, banks, credit unions, community banks, financial institutions that loan money to investors, they won't do 30-year fixed anymore. They might give you a 30-year AM with a 10-year balloon. You might hear a 5-1, a 5-5, a 5-1 ARM, adjustable rate mortgages. But your numbers are going to be a whole bunch different when you have to use today's rates in there. So that's happening now. And the federal government says that they plan to raise the prime interest rate in 2022 6 times. Now, maybe they've raised it 1 or 2 times so far, but 4 more times this year. And you combine that with elections. Yeah. So we've got congressional. I hope I'm saying that right. So it's not a presidential year, but Congress, House of Representatives, stuff, all those folks are running. And so politics is going to come into play into our market. I can't tell you what they're going to do. Okay. But things always get interesting when it's a big election year. Okay. Foreclosures. I saw this in one of the briefings that I get every morning. They're just going to blow your mind. And I've said this for a while, and all of us here have experienced the eviction moratorium if you've got rental property. Boy, talk about making you madder than a mashed duck. Okay. And so folks jumped on the bandwagon. We're not going to pay rent, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So the eviction moratorium's over. Well, guess what was going on at the same time? The very same time the eviction moratorium was going on, there was a foreclosure moratorium going on. So imagine having government-backed loans on investment property, and not only for investors, but homeowners, okay? They could jump on the foreclosure moratorium bandwagon and not make any mortgage payments for the basically the same period of time they had the you don't have to pay rent eviction moratorium. So all of that was over, I want to say July 31st of last year. Might have been June, but July 31st. I'm ballparking that. And if you're familiar with the foreclosure process, they can't just say, okay, these are all ready to go. Let's pull the plug and they all dump into the court system. Well, it takes time. So they got to give notice. And depending on what state that you invest in, each state has their own process for doing foreclosures. Well, guess what? Those things have trickled down and they're happening now. Listen to this. Brand new stuff this morning. Foreclosures, not only are they creeping up, they're slamming up. Okay? The first quarter of 2022 compared to the first quarter of last year of 2021, get this, foreclosures are up 137%. Now, they did the number of foreclosures in this state and that state and this city and this, that. I didn't jot down all that stuff. But the point being is that foreclosures are on the rise again, okay? So why does this matter in today's rapidly changing market? Because remember, one of the first things I said, in my town, we've got 500 houses for sale. That's in the inventory. When we're supposed to have 5,000 is what we're used to. Well, guess what? When you start dumping these foreclosures in there, guess what's going to happen to the market? They're going to get more and more houses. And so if you get more and more houses, okay, on the market, okay, and the interest rates go up, which means fewer and fewer buyers, what's going to happen? So they can buy less house. So we're not going to get that super duper appreciation that we were used to. Okay. That's going to come to a stall, and history repeats itself. We're going to learn from the past real estate cycles. Okay. And the biggie that we went through was, let's say 2009, 10, 11, 12, right in there. We had that huge foreclosure tsunami. Okay. Our economy took a bath. Remember Obama bucks? They give a homeowner $8,000 to buy a house. They give you $6,000 or $8,000 to go out and buy a car because everything's shut down. And so we're going to go through another cycle like that. It might not be that extreme, but we're going to have some of the very same variables in there, the very same elements that's going to affect this rapidly changing market that we're in now. So the foreclosures creeping up, that's going to continue. Okay. And you combine that with, well, this gets into another episode here, or another, not one of the part of the 9 parts, but people don't stop dying, getting divorced, job relocation, burnout landlords. Did I say divorce? Empty nesters where all the kids moved out and they want to move to a smaller home or a home with no steps. They want to retire and go south. People dying. Okay. So settle estates. So all that stuff, it doesn't stop. All that stuff keeps getting added in here too, in any market. Okay. So we've got interest rates today, 5% for homeowners. You can expect right now, and I haven't done this, but call up whoever your favorite bank, credit union, community bank, whatever, who loans money and to investors and see what their rates are. I bet they're teetering around 7%. And I bet you can't get a 30-year fixed. All right. The other thing, IRS. What do you think is going to happen to income taxes? Are they going to go up or are they going to go down? Everything that I see says that taxes are going up. Okay. Income taxes are going to go up. Yeah, they might put a spin on it and try to convince us that they're not, but everything I've seen, the taxes are going up. What about property taxes where you invest? Are they going up too? Yeah. Yeah. I had one. I got a property new tax assessment on some of my rental properties. One of them went up 100%. It doubled. Okay. And you might say, well, that's good that it's valued like that, but wait a minute. That means my property tax bill doubled too. So, and then we got the biggie here that everybody seems to be concerned about, and you should, is inflation. Okay. So think about this material cost. Remember the nightmare scare we had when the lumber cost went up and get a sheet of plywood was $100. A 2x4 was $20. They might have come down a little bit, but materials are still going up. Okay. Material costs have gone up. What about utilities? Okay. In my town, 54% increase in the electric bill. And it was approved by some state government committee or whatever. That's crazy. Okay. And if we have rental properties, I mean, not only does this affect me and you and our home life and our personal life, but think about all your tenants. Oh my gosh, they're just getting spanked. Groceries. They said they've gone up 18%. You know, a gallon of milk. Look how much it costs to get a ribeye steak to burn on your grill in the backyard. Hot dogs have gone up. Okay. Gas for your car, truck, and what have you. $4 and something a gallon. That's in my town. If you're out west somewhere, it could be a lot more than that. So all of this stuff is skyrocketing. Then they gave some kind of report. And this part I'm not an expert on, but I've heard Charles Payne talk about this, saying that something about the national product, something is down 1.4%. And like that's a yellow flag to say if it continues, we're going to be in a recession. Well, I don't know what they call that. But anyway, it wasn't good news is what I was told. So we need to learn from the past real estate market cycles because they do repeat themselves, okay? They do repeat themselves. And what we have to do is to prepare, okay, for the expected brand new opportunities that this is going to open up for me and you as investors, okay? And there's also going to be some things that we're used to doing that are going to get shut down, okay? One of those things in the last real estate bubble pop or whatever back then, Builders got on a craze and they were out here building new homes everywhere and all this. And then boom, the market crashed. They got left holding the bag. They couldn't make payments on their construction loans and this and that. Builders by the boatloads went belly up. Okay. You probably know a lot of real estate investors that went belly up. Okay. And so that's going to happen again. And so although that is reality, on the flip side of that, I'd like for you to try to take a look at that as being opportunity. And the opportunity is not to take advantage of these folks, okay? But you can create a win-win-win deal if you can help a homeowner avoid foreclosure, or you could help an investor avoid foreclosure, or you could help a builder avoid foreclosure by stepping in and solving their problem, okay? And at the same time, getting a deal. So that's it in a nutshell. And I've got one more thing to mention, and we'll call this one. We'll put a plug on this one. Who took the big hits? Who took the hits in the last real estate bubble popping? Okay. Who took the hits on that? Okay. Unless you live in Los Angeles or one of these cities where just everything's crazy. You got super high peaks, super low valleys. Okay. But if you live in Mayberry and you live in a town like mine, the median price homes, let's call it first time home buyer homes, that kind of level, they didn't have a peak or valley. They had ripples, you know, and they had ripples. We didn't take a bath, and but they kind of held their own. But in my town, who did take a bath? Okay, go to the low income neighborhoods, and houses were selling down there. You could go in there and put lipstick on it and fix it up, and you could sell it for $100,000. Okay, and some of them are selling for $150,000, $175,000 today. Well, back when that last cycle hit, you could sell those houses, fix them up and sell them for $125,000. Then the tsunami hit. I was able to go out and buy them for $3,000, $4,000, $6,000. Seriously. So the low income neighborhoods, okay, those took a big hit. Now, who else took a big hit? The opposite end, the opposite extreme, which was the super high end, high price luxury homes that would have 7, 8, 12,000 square feet. They would sell for $3 million. There was one house back then, okay, that was brand new. They tried to sell it for $2.5 million, and the builder got hit with it. And there was a loan on the property. It was already built because they used it in this showcase of homes called Homerama we have locally. And an investor picked it up for $400,000. I think he's still living in it as his home, but $2 million home he bought for $400,000. So the low end's going to take a hit. The high end's going to take a hit. The first time home buyer stuff there is going to have a ripple effect if you live in a Mayberry. So with that, guys, that wraps this one up. And I encourage you to take a look, carefully review your rental portfolio. Now is the time while the market's still hot. Okay. If you've got some dogs, you need to put them out there on the market. You'll get offers on it, because there's just not enough houses for sale out there. And so investors will buy it too. They're paying crazy prices for them now too. So anyway, let's wrap this one up. Tomorrow, our next episode, our next part in this 9-part series is going to be on exit strategies and how they have drastically changed and are getting ready and are going to change in the market that we're taking off in right now. So not tomorrow, but the next session. Okay. So we'll do that. See you on the next one. And got to do this. I need your help, please. Okay. If you like what you're learning here, please click the follow button or the subscribe button. I don't know where it's at. Okay. But it's somewhere on this podcast thing. I want you to go out and buy my book. It's the #1 bestseller. It's called Landlording on Autopilot. You can get it on Amazon. You can go to my website and I'll send you a personally autographed one. You can use it as a gift, use it as door prizes for your local RIA groups and what have you. That thing is awesome. It's chock full of free forms and free investor training videos. And I want you to sign up for my free power lunch. It happens every Tuesday at 12 noon at MikeButler.com. So adios. See you on the next one. Part 2 is going to be exit strategies in this rapidly changing real estate market. Adios.
Glad you joined us for another episode of 5-Hour Real Estate Week. The best thing you can do now is put this information to action. To help you get started, Mike created a free resource for you called How to Buy 50 Houses a Year, Even with Your Job. Download it now by going to MikeButler.com/50 houses. And we'll see you on the next episode.